Hello everybody and welcome back to the new VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your one channel for everything VR related. Today, we have a long list of new games and updates to go over, but we're also going to be discussing why VR is currently pretty lame. Now don't get the wrong idea. I am a VR enthusiast, I still play VR almost every single day, and I'm not giving up anytime soon. But it's undeniable we're currently in a lull. So we're going to jump into that topic a bit more later on, and talk about how we got here and what's going to pull us out. Okay everybody, let's not waste any more time and jump right into this video. Okay, so the new VR news is a little bit later than normal this week, so let's start by going over all last week's recent releases that I didn't get to cover. First up is Madrid Noir. Now this is a 45-minute animated film that follows a young woman named Lola who recently lost her uncle. After visiting his apartment, she's compelled to dig into his memories, unlocking a grand mystery adventure. I didn't get to experience this film just yet, but it's currently available for the Oculus Quest, and it's sitting at just over 4 stars. Our next title is another Oculus Quest exclusive, currently sitting at 4.5 stars, and that is Chess Club. Chess Club VR is exactly what you're expecting. You get the ability to play games of chess in VR. You can play against your friends or the enemy AI, there's casual and ranked matches, and the game even turns things up a notch by letting the pieces battle it out. I was a fan of the old school title Battle Chess, so this is right up my alley. The game also supports camera-based hand tracking, and this is a perfect use case scenario. And our final recent release is Tarzan VR for the Oculus Quest. Tarzan originally released for PC VR back in November of 2020. It's a 3-part episodic adventure that lets you take on the role of Tarzan. You'll be swinging from vines, hanging out with the local wildlife, and beating up some enemies. Now, I didn't take the title serious, but did enjoy my experience playing through the game on PC VR, but it doesn't look like that's the case for most Oculus Quest users. The title's currently sitting at 2.5 stars with a ton of 1-star reviews. This is actually a huge disappointment because I was originally impressed with the PC VR version. Well, it looks like that's not the case and you'll want to avoid this game. Well, let's move on to something that's getting much more positive reviews, and that's Bricks VR. Bricks VR is currently available in early access on both Steam and the Oculus App Lab. It allows you to invite your friends to a giant game of Legos and just chill out. And one of the best parts is you won't have to clean up Legos when you're done. There's also 16 million different brick colors to choose from, so I don't think you're going to experience many limitations. Now, if you're looking for the exact opposite of chilling out in VR, the Blair Witch is now available on the Oculus Rift, and it's also coming to the PlayStation VR later this summer. The Blair Witch is a psychological horror title which has you getting lost in the Black Hills forest. Luckily though, you are accompanied by your dog. Sadly though, he won't be much help when you start stumbling across creatures. Okay, so let's move on to 4 new releases coming this week, and luckily I've already played most of them. First up is Part 2 of Paper Birds. Paper Birds is an animated series that follows a talented child musician who gets sucked into another world. Part 2 has Toto traveling through a world of darkness, trying to bring back his family that was taken away by the shadows. He'll have to use his musical skill to open up portals, and ultimately we'll learn more about these shadowy creatures. Paper Birds Part 2 is coming to the Oculus Quest tomorrow, but if that's not enough action for you, we have Sniper Elite VR. Sniper Elite VR is a brand new game in the Sniper Elite series. It takes place in 1943 Italy, delivers a surprisingly deep story, and is action-packed, but there's also a large emphasis on stealth if that's your style. I already completed Sniper Elite VR, and we'll have a 1-minute review up tomorrow at release time. Speaking of 1-minute reviews, I already have one up for Sam and Max, this time it's virtual. Sam and Max has you working side by side with the classic comic strip dynamic duo. There's 9 mini-games to complete and a central storyline. This should last you around 5 hours, and if you're just looking for some casual fun, or you're a fan of Sam and Max, I think you'll enjoy this game. Now there's another mini-game filled title releasing on Steam this July 9th, and that is Soulpath: The Final Journey. Soulpath is a journey through human emotions, where the visuals, audio, and gameplay will change drastically between each level. Soulpath promises to be a unique way to experience anger, fear, sadness, and joy. I just recently started checking out this title, and may have a 1-minute review up in the near future. Speaking of the near future, the second alpha for Zenith has been pushed back to July 24th. I've been talking a lot about Zenith and Elysia lately. They're both 2 upcoming VR MMOs. If you want more information on those projects, I will pop up a card, and I will most likely be streaming the second alpha for Zenith when it starts. Okay, so there's just one more game announcement and then a quick Kickstarter campaign. From the team that brought us Thomas Was Alone comes Arcsmith. It's a fun story of friendship and redemption, which has you engineering some futuristic tools. The Oculus Quest announcement trailer just recently dropped, but we won't have to wait too long for this game as it's coming on July 29th. Okay, here's our final game topic, and that's Legends Untold, which is coming soon to Kickstarter. Legends Untold will be an RPG tabletop simulator. It's a 5-person co-op title that can also be played on flat screen. The overall world, environments, and NPCs are controlled by a GM, or Game Master for the uninitiated. There's 2 distinct modes, one is roleplay and the other is combat. Roleplay would be similar to jumping in a world like VR chat, and the combat mode changes the game to a top-down view, similar to what you get with the title Demio. This is a great mix of tactical combat and role-playing, which is exactly what tabletop RPGs are all about. The Kickstarter to this project is coming soon, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. Okay, so let's move on to the main topic, and that's VR being lame right now. Bear with me for this, guys. If you just recently got into VR, you're probably still extremely excited. And like I said, I still play VR every day, I'm quite happy with it, but there's nothing really cool going on right now. Over a year ago, we got Half-Life Alyx, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and Boneworks. Now this is some of the best that VR has to offer, and in truth, many of the other amazing titles are even older. We also experienced some disappointing releases in both hardware and software, and the absolute overhyping of Oculus Quest updates recently came to a head. So there's no huge blockbuster style titles, and absolutely nothing exciting to report on hardware-wise. Now, some of us were holding out hope that HTC would actually become a standalone competitor to the Oculus Quest, but that didn't happen. The Vive Pro came, and it really wasn't very exciting. The PSVR 2 is more than a year away from releasing, and after 2 years, Valve still hasn't even given us a wireless adapter. And to this day, VR games remain mostly casual. I spent nearly 6 minutes talking about new VR games in this video, and none of them are overly exciting. So why is this happening right now? I've discussed this topic in previous videos, but development has moved over primarily to the Oculus Quest these days because that's where the money is. Now, it's still not a ton of money. This isn't like traditional flat screen gaming, so it's still too much of a financial risk to do a big blockbuster style title. Those games also take multiple years to develop, so even if those games were started a year before the Oculus Quest 2 released, they still have at least another year of development to go, but it's most likely closer to another 2 years. And at the same time, we have those hardware limitations of the Oculus Quest 2 that I've spoken about many times before. So things are pretty slow for right now. Now, if you're new to VR and you're thinking VR is dead, you have no idea what VR has been through in the past 5 years. It's a new technology that goes way further than just cool video games, but that's what we focus on here. It's definitely changing the world for the better, and we will see some truly impressive stuff in the near future. Now, before we discuss that, I do want to mention the lull is not just VR. Xbox, PlayStation, and even Nintendo haven't really done anything exciting lately. Yes, we got new hardware, but there's no new games to play. So what's going to pull us out of this lull? Well, the rumor mill says Facebook will have something for us this September. Most likely a Quest Pro announcement, but we'll see what happens there. Now, an Oculus Quest Pro would definitely generate some hype, but we still wouldn't have any new games to play. Now, the rumor mill also says that Valve is working on some stuff, and that includes both hardware and software, but there's nothing official there either. So if neither of these companies do anything exciting for the next year, it's going to be really slow until the PlayStation VR 2 comes out. At this point, I would really expect VR to take off yet again. Until the Oculus Quest 2 came about, the PlayStation VR was the best-selling VR headset. Now, there are a few other projects out there to get excited about. This includes some other hardware like cheap, full-body tracking, or the Decagear HMD, and there are some cool games coming like Resident Evil 4 and Lone Echo 2, but it's gonna be a while before VR gets really exciting again. Now, if you think this lull is bad, you should have been a VR gamer in the first 3 years, where you would go months without getting a single new game. But at least back then, Facebook was still investing money into PC VR, and you would get the occasional really good title like Asgard's Wrath. Right now, we're still waiting for developers to figure out how to make higher-end games on the Oculus Quest 2. But don't worry guys, we will get there, and there is a lot more to come in the future. So VR might be a little lame right now, but that's not gonna last. Okay everybody, that was today's new VR news. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.